Hi, Jason, the Canuk Carnivore here. Today's video, I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people ask or seem hesitant about, is that how do you get started on the carnivore diet? And simple answer is, you just start eating meat and stop eating all the other stuff. And it's that simple, but it's not that simple. The first thing that everyone will tell you is you need to have your why. But for me and myself, I needed to hit rock bottom first. I needed to be in a place where there was very few other options. Now, if you're at that place and you're kind of desperate, you're kind of exasperated and exhausted from trying to figure out what to do to improve your health, when you're in a place where you maybe not be able to go exercising, then you're not good at moderation because you're addicted to food. Well, then you need to sort of do a few things in preparation. First, research it. Make sure that you feel confident about what you're about to do, because it seems like a radical change. And that's okay, because sometimes a radical change is what you need. But you need to be confident in the information you have about what you're going to do in order to feel like it's the right thing to do. And believe me, I did a lot of research before I took the plunge. The next thing I did was I picked a date. I said, this is the day, this is when I start. And it wasn't the next day, it wasn't the next day after that, but it was a few days in advance. And in my mind, I prepared myself to say, okay, I know what I'm going to be giving up. I know I will not be taking in any more sugars, no cereals, no fruit, no veg. But I will be eating beef, butter, bacon, eggs, and any other meat I feel like. But when those things were formulated in my mind and I had a clear goal and objective as to what I was going to do, I picked my date, and on that date, I had my breakfast. And in retrospect, I wish I wouldn't have picked a breakfast so similar to what I was used to having, because what you don't know immediately is that maybe you do have a serious food addiction, like I do. And it's hard to admit that, but like my favorite breakfast before the carnivore diet was 4 eggs, toast, bacon, maybe some pancakes. Yeah. And of course, the pancakes had that maple syrup. And the toast, well, I'd make 4 slices of toast for 4 eggs. But I'd usually use up 3 of the slices of toast eating the eggs, maybe 1 left over. So at the end, I put jam on the toast and drink it with my coffee, which had cream and sugar in it. And maybe a small glass of milk or orange juice, depending if I was thirsty. But on my first day of carnivore, I had 4 eggs, 4 pieces of bacon, back bacon, and 3 minute steaks. Now there was a pack of 5, but I only had 3 of them with the bacon and the eggs. I thought that was enough. And for the most part, it was. I felt pretty full after that meal. Because that's the other important thing to do when you start. You need to eat till you're full. Now, if you've been on a standard Western diet, those signals are a little confused with your gut until you get fat adapted or what have you, and your body's back to a normal metabolism. The full signal is a little tricky to gauge, but basically eat till you don't feel like eating anything anymore. What you're eating doesn't taste great. It tastes great because your brain and your body, they work together, and when you're giving it what it needs, it's happy. When you're giving it too much, it's not. That simple, really. But it's not easy, not at first. So once you get fat adapted and you're doing what you need to do, then it can progress. My next meal after that, well, for lunch I had the 2 leftover minute steaks, and that was good for lunch, and I felt satisfied. And then for dinner, I had, I think it was a sirloin and a couple more eggs. And I was amazed that that's all it took. And I was full, and I pushed away from the table, and I said, I'm good. But during the day, I did have what I thought were hunger pains, and what I know now were cravings. So every time I felt those cravings, I had a glass of water. And I had a lot of water that day, kind of to my detriment. But that night was the first night in years that I went to bed without my stomach feeling like I had eaten a balloon and, you know, tried to, explode it in my own gut. And I slept really well for the first time in a long time. And the next day, I did the same thing: 4 eggs, minute steaks, bacon. And for lunch, I skipped because I wasn't hungry at lunchtime. So then I had dinner, which was a couple of steaks. No, it was chicken wings and chicken wings and some pork chops. And that was day 2. And that's the way it was going. And that's how it went. Not hard to start, but it's hard to get going if you know the difference. Once you get on the path, then it becomes easier. Once you stay on the path, then it gets much easier. But there are things to look out for. Like, for example, do you have a food addiction? If you do, you will have cravings. You will want bread. You will want a cookie. Whatever it is your thing, that will worm its way in your thoughts when you're getting started, because you have an addiction. That's how addicts behave. They think about the thing they want. Not the thing they need, it's the thing they want. For me, it's quite a few things. Pizza was constantly on my mind. Oh, I'm not going to have pizza anymore. Oh my God, how am I not going to have pizza? Or, cookies. Oh, I could go for an Oreo. Oh, fig roll. I love a fig Newton right now. Oh, fig Newton would be so good right now. Popcorn. God, I miss popcorn. Oh, geez, how can I not have popcorn? Those are cravings. Those aren't hunger signals. Those are your brain trying to get you to get that dopamine kick that you hear about from eating the things that you used to eat to get that dopamine kick. Well, once you get past that first part of adapting to the carnivore lifestyle, then you can more clearly disseminate between hunger and a craving. So now I'm on I'll be day 140 tomorrow, but I wanted to make this video so people understand that getting started isn't the hardest thing you'll do, but it's one of the hardest things you'll do. Because once you step on that path, then the next step, and then the next, it gets easier with every step. And you think less and less about it. But if you have addiction, then it hasn't gone away for me. Like, I still crave chocolate and pizza. But then I know what I really was addicted to now: sugar, and it was the starches in the bread. It was not so much alcohol, but I used to like a tipple, but I wasn't really going out to drink at all anymore. But I love pizza and beer. Oh, best combination ever: pizza, nice hot pizza, ice cold beer. Nothing better, right? Well, yeah, there is. Steak, lovely seared steak with a nice fatty rib side on the side, a little butter on top. That makes me happy now. But getting started means taking the first step. And sometimes that step is a doozy. But once you do take it, the next step is easier. And the next step. And soon you're running. And remember, you don't have to be perfect, but you got to take that first step. Get to that so that you can progress and turn your health around. It will turn your health around. So I think that's all I got to say about that. Thanks for your time, and I hope your journey can start or keep going successfully. And eat meat, eh?
Go, don't stop.